Live Couples 412. It is summer. Welcome. If you've never tuned in, then tune in. Bring your boo. Bring it close to you like this a little bit. This is some intentional couple time. This is Couples 412. We intentionally talk about the 50% who are having a great marriage and the 50% who want to have a great marriage. Why we always gotta talk about the other 50%? 50% of people ain't in divorce, but yeah, what about the other 50% who doing the right thing, who working on their marriage, who trying to make a difference? If you never tuned in before, I know I was almost lost for words.
You can still tune in.
Here's my man Q Parker. He's one of the founders of Couples 412. He's waiting on his lovely bride. What's happening, Q? How you feeling tonight?
Man, I'm in a great space, man. Life is good, man. God is good. I'm just in a good space, man. I'm in a great mood, man. It's dope. It's dope.
You glowing, man. You really look like you in a good mood. That second annual Brothers United camp, I know how's that working for you?
It's going great, man. It's so amazing to be able to expose our youth to the things that they love, but may not have had the opportunity to be a part of. So, you ask any of our youth, what are they interested in? A lot of times they're going to say the entertainment, whether that is behind the scenes, in front of the scenes. That they all love their gadgets. So we have a technology course, acting, television, and film, leadership, building, teamwork, and fitness. So to just see them engaged every day from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. it's amazing, and it's infectious. You can't be around children for 8 hours, 6 hours of the day and not just get a lot of their energy. So I love going there every day, and it's been an amazing year this year.
Man, before we started live, you should have seen him. He was doing all the dances, so I know he's getting all of the energy from the camp, and that's wonderful that you get. And I mean, we love it. We're waiting for your lovely wife to come aboard. Oh, look who just jumped in. How you guys doing?
We good. How's everything?
Ty and Chris.
All right.
Hey.
Two of our favorite couples. They also run a camp and they do everything. How you guys doing?
We good.
Good. Getting ready for vacation. Can't wait.
Oh, that's
where y'all going?
Oh, we're taking the family Orlando. Our son's third birthday is on the 5th.
Ah. Sounds like y'all want to go to Disney World too, huh?
No. We're not actually going to this because he's so small. So.
Oh.
Right. He might not remember it, right?
Yeah. So we're just gonna take advantage of the water parks and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Let me tell you a secret. You can take them out to the pool in the hotel, and they will be happy the whole the whole trip at 3.
Exactly. You can take them to the backyard and do a blow-up pool.
Right. Ty and Chris have been with us on Couples 412 before, and we hang out with cool couples. They have a business called Artportunity. Before we get started, you want to just tell us a little bit about your business?
Go ahead.
Oh, well, Artportunity Knox is a nonprofit organization whose focus is on providing youth with positive arts expression. So we have a variety of different arts classes from dance, vocal, music production, filmmaking, you name it. If it's in the arts, we pretty much provide it. And we have locations throughout the metro Atlanta area. And so we're just trying to provide positive place for kids to express themselves.
Absolutely. Love it.
So you can go to artportunity.com?
Artportunityknox.org.
Artportunityknox.org.
Make sure you say Artportunity, because a lot of people think it's opportunity, but it's actually ART. PORT.
So I say art, port, unity. You got to break it down into the port and then the unity too. So it's art and it's going through a portal and then it's unifying all in one. I like it.
Boom.
I love it.
Artportunityknox.org.
There you go. Pastor Stephen Thurston.
What's up, guys? Good to be back.
Man, we haven't seen you in a while.
It's been a minute.
Always a pleasure to see you.
Yes, sir.
I see a sunny in the Chicago area today, huh?
Yeah, man, we got this good weather going on.
Yeah.
Finally.
Rumor has it you might be sneaking down in the A for a few days, but you know.
Yeah, man, I'll be back home. I'm speaking at a conference, Young Leaders Conference, on Thursday morning. So excited to be back home in ATL.
Where is that at, Stephen?
It's going to be held at the Georgia World Congress Center. If people want to go on and watch it pay-per-view, exploreylc.com. There's still opportunities to purchase packages so you can see some of the sessions. Me and Cavance will be speaking at that conference.
I heard it was sold out already.
Yeah, so we had 1,400 people there, and so they decided to open up an online portal for people who couldn't make it in, who didn't register in time. So
man, that's great. Young Leaders, that's going to be awesome. If you just tuned in, this is Couples 412 live with once a month, the fourth Tuesday. Come online. The second Tuesday, we're live at Oasis Campus, Atlanta Oasis, which we've moved a couple of times, but that's our new home. But online, we have opened it up to the world for the couples just to come in and just spend an intentional hour on your marriage, share with each other. We rub elbows, we give digital hugs, you know, we listen, and then we have a wonderful message from our coaches. We got Coach Pastor Stephen Thurston and Coach Cavance Ross, who we just heard was going to be speaking at the Young Leaders Conference. It's going to be awesome. I can't wait. Charlinda. Hey, Char, how you doing?
Hey.
Sorry, I'm a little tardy.
Hey, Char.
You right on time. A young business owner. You know, you doing it all. Take your shoes off, Char. Relax. We're right here at an intentional time at Couples 412. How you feeling this evening?
Good. How about y'all? It's like I haven't seen you in forever, Kevin.
It's good to see you. It's definitely good to see you. Is that the young man walking by?
Yeah. Right. You know.
Camped out. So let's just get started a little bit. We're talking about our covenant. We're talking about marriage. We're talking about there's a lot of people getting married in June. A lot of people thinking about getting married. There's a lot of people who don't want to be married anymore. It's 50-50. It's that thing. It's people I talk to who's sick and tired. And it's people who are sick and tired of one another way. It's people who are trying to understand where they fit in, where marriage fits in their life, how they can make the main thing and make it work, how they can put God into their marriage, and how they can continue to grow as okay. He has theme music when he comes in. What's up? Ross. Welcome to the call. One of our other coaches. We just was here.
That's how we doing it? Okay.
Okay. I see. We got to get some theme music now when we come in.
I'm going to start doing that every time.
Wait till next month. I got you. Hey, I'm still.
What's going on, Brother Rob?
Hey, man, how y'all fellas and ladies doing?
Man, it was always a pleasure. With everything going on in the world, it's wonderful to see everybody. And you know, even just if we can't see you live, we know you out there, and we're glad that you're here another day.
Happy anniversary.
Thank you.
Happy anniversary.
And still,
Happy anniversary.
oh, we did it too. We did it. Anyway, back to Couples 412 live. As I said, we meet twice a month, once in person if you're in the Atlanta area, or just visiting on that second week, and another time online, because we know so many great couples all over the country and all over the world who we just want to connect to and say, look, it's cool to be married. It's cool. You think you're the only one with problems or with a situation. You're not. I'm sure collectively, one couple has gone through just about everything that another couple's gone through. And we're here. We are here for each other. We're here to build each other up. We can just be intentional about our marriage and to keep pushing forward the agenda of strong, healthy families and marriages. Tonight we're talking about the covenant. Babe, you want to share anything? Young lady?
Are we going to go over what we found today?
We can. I was trying to see if you would go over it and I could listen for one moment.
Well, we have 2 anniversary dates. One is June 10th when we got married, and then last year, June 21st, we converted our marriage to a covenant marriage in Arizona. So we were able, if he has a show on the 10th, we can catch it on the 21st, I guess, or vice versa. So it ended up working out well. And we came across this article on family life, and it's a great resource for us and for other couples. So I encourage you to check out familylife.com, but it was the 5 things you can do to ensure that you keep your marriage as a covenant. And number 1 was praying together.
Number
Daily.
1, daily prayer. Don't even have to be that formal.
Yeah.
Thou dearest, thou habit. You can just hold hands and bring God into the situation. And pray without ceasing. Go ahead.
Right. And number 2 is never use that D word. Because remember, we took it off the table anyway, so don't even use the D word. Because you know, you always talk about how you speak life, so you can speak life and death with your words.
Absolutely.
So we don't even that's not even on the
We're not even spell the rest of the word.
We're not, just the D word.
Right. Do not disturb. Don't touch that word.
Number 3 was to create and sign a marriage covenant. And we have this on our website in the resources section, the marriage covenant. And we distributed that last year to our couples, but we have that accessible. So I encourage you to go on our website and review it and sign it.
Couples412.com in our resources section if you would like to sign the covenant. I say do it.
Do it.
We did it about a year ago. It was amazing. Her aunt came in. People said they weren't going to be on the floor. They were on the floor. I'm like, were they really on the floor? Q, you saw it? You guys saw it? That's when you don't think you can ever be slain in the spirit, and then you find yourself on the floor and say, wait a minute, what just happened?
Right. Number 4 is do what you promised.
Do what you promised. That's big.
That's sickness and health, rich or poor, and all that in between.
So that wasn't just something we mumbled up there at the front of the church, huh?
Right. Yeah.
That was a covenant promise.
That's right.
Do what you promised.
And number 5, help others keep their covenant. And that's what we're doing through Couples 412, being a resource to every one of you. We don't have all the answers either. We're learning as we're going along, but we're being intentional about our marriage. We want you to be intentional too. So that's our number 5. So
those are just a few things we found along the way. Just again, if you just tuned in, this is Couples 412. We are hanging out with some cool couples, Ty and Chris, over there at Art Opportunity. Karan Ross, the man with the theme music. Shit, you know, he came in. The Parkers, which we're gonna have a moment with the Parkers in a second, and then our guest coach tonight, or our coach tonight, our one-line coach tonight, Pastor Stephen Thurston. Parkers.
Hey, I just want to say hey to everyone. Got on a little late, but hello. Moment with the Parkers. Maybe I just want to celebrate and salute Q for his. I know it's off the covenant, but his camp, his 2-week camp that he's been doing. I went there today, and I'm so proud of him. I was able to see a little bit of the camp, how it's going, and from last year, it's like 5 steps up, and I commend him and Dora for doing such a great job. Dana and Kevin, I know your kids are over there. I saw them this morning.
2 years in a row. They're veterans.
In a row, yeah. And, actually, I was really proud of him. I sat back and observed. He had me playing a little bit of basketball, something I don't do, making a fool of myself. And I
put it on the ground.
And I did not know it was on Instagram until I got to work. And I was like, I saw you playing basketball. I was like, I saw you playing basketball. Like you. And I was like, see, that was the setup. But I'm so proud of him. I'm glad I got a chance to at least go over there and see before the week is out. Kids look like they're having a great time. So just want to celebrate. He's branded from head to toe with the paraphernalia on.
Bam.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
God, he said he was in such a good space before you came. He was glowing, talking about you. He was just reaping the rewards of the harvest. I guess some good seeds have been planted in the house. And harvest is come.
Thank you. So the camp is going great, and I thank you for celebrating me while I wasn't here.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
PDA?
PDA?
Right.
Get ready.
Right, they both have on lipstick tonight.
Right.
All right.
PDA. Did y'all get one? Did y'all get a PDA moment? Oh, y'all not feeling it?
Oh.
That would be.
Are they frozen?
Right, don't feel left out at home. You can kiss your mate if y'all looking at it together. If y'all not looking at it together, go back and still give them a kiss. They need one just to make it through the day. But look, let's keep it moving. We're talking about the covenant. Brother Ross, before we get started, anything you want to share about what's going on fantastic in your marriage, in your life?
Man, this is today is actually my daughter's birthday, so she turns 2 officially today.
All right.
Yeah, we celebrated this weekend with her full birthday party, and my wife is getting ready to take a little vacation from the PhD and from work. She's headed to Essence this week.
Oh,
all right.
I am in one of, along with Stephen Thurston, one of the most impactful conferences in the country this weekend, the Young Leaders Conference. 10 states, 10 countries represented, 40 states, over 1,500 people already sold out.
Wow.
And both me and Stephen are on the opportunity or on the platform to empower people. And this week is the first launch of my second book, Leadership for Life.
Oh,
all right. Congratulations.
So it's going to be a great weekend, and we're looking forward to great things. And we still got a strong marriage, so that's something to celebrate.
You better celebrate it. You better celebrate it today.
No complaints, all is well.
Hey, tell her to tune in the other room. It'll be good for later on tonight.
I got it.
It'll be good for later on tonight. You just tuned in. This is Couples 412 Live. We hanging out with some of the coolest couples I've ever met. And we always do it on the second Tuesday, right at Oasis Atlanta. Come on out. If you're in the area, come on out. Guys, you'd be like, I'm not going to that. Guys might not even be watching this, but if you are, come on, it's cool. It's cool. Come on. Hang out with some cool cats. Ladies, come on. Come on, let's just talk. It's just a nice, safe environment for couples to hang out. But we got our online thing has been down. Everybody's been running. Q's been to Paris and France and weddings, and I've been traveling. And we say, you know what? We got to just all stop for a minute and get back online. We want to welcome, sharing with us tonight, Pastor Stephen Thurston, who used to be with us in Atlanta full time, but he is always with us all the time in spirit. But tonight, coming directly from Chicago, the Chi-Town, brother bringing us, talking about the law of the covenant. Welcome to the platform, Mr. Stephen Thurston.
Thank you, sir. Always good to be back with the Couples 412 crew. What we do, I think, is amazing. It's impactful, and it's changing lives. And it's interesting, Kevin, to run into people here in Chicago that I did not know tapped into what we do here. And they see me on the street. Hey, you're the guy from Couples 412. I like what y'all are doing.
You will be surprised that people just say, I see you doing that couples thing. And you're like, you do? You know what I mean? Who knew? You're absolutely right, Stephen.
Yeah, so we're making an impact. So let's keep doing the doggone thing. Tonight, our focus is on the law of the covenant, as we've already kind of laid the foundation of covenant relationships. And here's the thing. Good relationships may begin because of a common purpose or mutual support, but they actually endure because of commitment and covenant. That's what keeps the relationship tight-knit. Here's the problem, though. We operate in life through a Western lens because, of course, we live in the West. And in the West, we end up viewing things not so much as a covenant, but through the lens of a contract. And there's a major difference between a contract and the covenant. Let me go back old school. The Hebrew word for covenant is berith. And what that means, and I love Hebrew because they paint pictures with their words. And so berith means a cutting or compact made by passing between two pieces of flesh. So the cutting of flesh. You may be familiar with the term cutting a covenant. And that term is related to an ancient custom where an agreement between two people was confirmed by cutting an animal in half, passing between the two pieces. And so you would take a piece from your side, I would take a piece from my side, and we would share those pieces. In some customs, there was even the sharing of drinking of the blood of the sacrificed animal. Yeah, that's way back in the day. But the key piece is that if one broke the covenant, his life would be destroyed like the divided beast. That's how serious covenants were taken. And so in essence, a covenant is a serious agreement of a solemn and binding force. It's an agreement between two people that involves promises and requirements from each other to each other. So at the end of the day, this is how I want to phrase it. Covenants are a sacred declaration of fidelity. It's nothing to play with. It's not a toy. Covenants are like dead serious. And there are three distinct differences that I want to share tonight between covenants and contracts. First piece I want to share is duration. With a contract, it has an end date, but with a covenant, it's permanent. So whenever, we talk about marriage and I perform marriage ceremonies, I remind the couple before we even get into these vows, what y'all about to say to each other, this isn't until they get on my nerves, until they mess up, until they drop the ball, until I'm just not feeling them no more, until their credit score drops below 700. No, this is until death do us part and natural death does us part. Covenants are permanent. They're made to be lifelong commitments. The second piece that separates covenants and contracts is that the inclusive nature of it. So a contract involves a part of a person, for example, a skill set that an individual has. And so when Q Parker goes out to sing, there's a contract placed on the table between he and whoever's bringing him in to sing. And that contract is dealing with one particular skill set that he has, that skill set of singing. Juxtapose that to a covenant, and a covenant involves all of you, your whole body, your whole makeup, your whole man, your whole womanhood. Covenant is all inclusive. Contract is just part of a person. The third piece I want to highlight and elucidate is what I call the signature line. With contracts, they're written on paper, and on paper you sign on the dotted line. But with a covenant, that's not written on paper, but rather it's written upon human hearts. And so those are the three key differences that I want to highlight tonight between a covenant and a contract. Now, if you're going to be engaged in a covenant relationship, character counts. Character matters, because your ability to keep covenant with your mate, with your partner, with your boo, with your spouse is not really dependent upon their character, but in actuality, it's all on your character. And I've come to discover that a lack of character is the reason that so many people have repeated miscarriages in the arena of relationships. I know a guy, and he has a new best friend every couple of months. He's got a new circle of friends every year or so. He's got a new staff like every 2.5, every 3 years. There's always this revolving door, and has nothing to do with those people. It's all on him. He has these miscarriages in the arena of relationships because his character sucks. It's horrible. It's like from the pit of hell. He lacks character, so he can't maintain relationships. And if you find yourself in that type of position where you can't maintain consistent, lifelong, lasting, binding relationships, it's normally not the other people, but it has everything to do with your character. So what are the givens that form the secure bedrock of a covenant relationship? A couple of things. Number one, there has to be a commitment to lock in. Number one, a commitment to lock in. There's no real value in transient relationships. Relationships take time to build. You got to dig some roots, and it takes time for those roots to dig down into the soil and get firm there. Too many people prefer periodical friendships to lifelong covenant commitments. We like to jump in and out of relationship, in and out of relationship. There's premature penetration into new relationships because you didn't deal with all the issues from the last relationship. You end up carrying that luggage over into the new relationship. There's no value in transient relationships. And so there has to be a commitment to lock in if you're going to be in a covenant relationship. Number two, mutual reliance and interdependence. People that are in covenant, they focus on contributing what they can to the relationship without calculating how they can gain an advantage. If you're in covenant relationship, you have the posture and the position of being a giver, not a receiver. Everything you do is about giving, serving, sacrificing. What can I do to help you? What can I do to serve you? For me, it doesn't matter your social economic status, your tax bracket, your zip code. You can have more than me or less than me. My posture, my position is always going to be to you, how can I serve you? Especially within the realm of relationship and marriages, you should be serving and sacrificing for your partner. It's not about I, it's about we, it's about us. And if you spend your time meeting their needs, if you spend your time in a perpetual position of giving and serving, guess what? You're going to get it back from them. And each person's needs are going to be met if the situation is set up as such. It ain't about give and take. It's only about give. The third thing I want to share here is that you've got to contribute rather than compete. Number 3, you've got to contribute rather than compete. You should bring to the relationship elements that the other person needs. So in essence, you want to be there to fill the cavities of their weaknesses, thus becoming what they need. Where Dana is strong, Kevin is probably weak, and she fills in to help him to be a great guy. If Dana wasn't there, Kevin would probably suck. Because Dana fills in his cavities. It's kind of a hole in the complete picture. And likewise, where Dana sucks, Kevin has to come in, hopefully, and fill those cavities. Hopefully, that's his area of strength. That's what we do when we're in covenant relationship. We meet the needs and add value to our partner. And guess what happens? When we're in the position of meeting the need and adding value to our partner, God will turn around and bless you in the same way, either with your partner or with somebody else that he allows to cross your path to meet a particular area of need that you have in your life to push you further towards your promise, your potential, and your destiny. Your value to others is in direct proportion to the problems that you solve for them. And so let me encourage you as couples, be problem solvers for each other, not problem creators for each other. The mark of a healthy relationship is security, which is a result of trust. And security is possible because a covenant is something much more binding than a mere contract or an agreement. Covenants are the real deal. It's the real thing. It's stronger, it's more secure than a contract, because contracts, as we know in our Western culture, are ultimately broken time and time again. There's always some type of breach of contract happening in our transactional relationships. And guess what? True covenant, it requires some things from us. You got to have integrity. It requires generosity, loyalty, and a demonstration of selfless character. Let me give you those again so you can check off the list and see what you got and what you're missing. True covenant, it requires integrity, generosity, loyalty, and a demonstration of selfless character. It can't be about you, boo. It's got to be about the other person. Let me close out tonight with some declarations of covenant relationships, some key crucial elements that have to be in play if you're going to be engaged and involved in a true covenant relationship. Number 1, you got to keep God at the center. And that's what Couples 412 is all about. There's always this demonstration that we do when we have that live gathering of one person standing on one side, the other person standing on the other, and one of us functions as God just for that moment, standing in the center, keeping the couple on either side connected. The covenant relationship you have made with each other becomes susceptible to rupture if someone greater than the both of you isn't in the middle to protect it and to guard it. We've got to have God in the center of our marital relationships if we're going to be true power couples. You won't have access to the power if God isn't stationed there in the center of that relationship. Number 2, you've got to pledge to protect. If you're going to be in covenant relationship, you've got to pledge to protect. The evidence of love is a pledge to protect. A person will risk their goods, their reputation, and even their life to protect what they love. They'll go all out. There'll be no boundaries. There'll be no limits. Whatever I got to do to protect you because I love you and because we're in covenant, that's what's going to happen. And guess what? It's impossible to protect someone who interprets your protection as an attempt to stifle or control. Listen, when you're in a real relationship, healthy, authentic covenant relationship, your partner is supposed to get in your face. They're supposed to call you out on your stuff. They're supposed to be your blind spot indicator. And listen, that's not them trying to control you or stifle you. They want you to be better. They want you to be the best version of you. They want to make you great again. And it can happen if you let them. But if you have this interpretation, you're just trying to control me. You're just trying to run me. You're trying to be my daddy, be my mama, be my boss. You're going to kill the love in that relationship. That's not what they're seeking to do. They're just trying to be committed to the covenant that you have. Number 3, there has to be the promise of truth. It's because you love your partner your spouse, your mate, your boo, that you will tell your partner the truth. So when she asks you, do I look fat in this dress? Yep, you're going to tell her the truth. You're going to be honest. And guess what? You're going to follow it up by saying, I like a girl with a little meat on the bones. You're going to clean it up that way. No, but seriously, we've got to tell each other the truth when we're in covenant relationship. We don't do anybody any good by sugarcoating things and not being honest and authentic with them. They need to hear the truth, especially from somebody that loves them and has their best interest at heart, for them to grow and develop and nurture and become everything that God has created and crafted them to be. The purest form of mercy is when you love somebody enough to tell them the truth. And guess what? Truth isn't always the way I see it or the way you see it, but the way God sees it. That's what truth really is. And that ought to help to kill some of your future arguments and confrontations. When y'all in the heat of it, stop. Somebody have some sense. Pause and say, listen, truth ain't about me. It ain't about you. It's about neither one of our perspectives. How does God see this issue? How does God see this matter, this situation? That's where the truth lies. And that's what we've got to come in accordance with. Fourth and finally, and I'm out of your way, if you're in covenant relationship, you've got a vow to never leave. There is a pure and unselfish motive in true covenants. You're not looking to get anything out of it. You're not trying to benefit, not trying to gain. You're trying to do your part to pour into, to feed, to help, to nourish, to nurture, and develop the other person. It ain't about you. It's about the other person being whole and being better. And to covenant means you're willing to stay long after others have said goodbye. And so you got to stop spending your time pinpointing their faults while they're busy overlooking your faults. Let me back that thing up and say it again. Stop spending all of your time trying to pinpoint their faults while they're spending all of their time overlooking your faults, because they love you, care about you, and are true to the covenant commitment that you made. What somebody else would have walked away from, they stick and stay. They fight through it. They bounce back from it. The infidelity, the issues, the friction, the trouble, the loss of job, loss of income, intimacy fading out. They fight for it. You vow to never leave when your covenant commitment. The manner in which you treat a relationship when you no longer need it reveals the motive that you had from the beginning. And here's the reality. We can't escape our motives. They're going to show up. They're going to rear their ugly head at some point. You got to be true. You got to be authentic. And if you're in a covenant relationship, there's a vow that's been made to never leave, never depart, and never walk away. That's the same vow and covenant that God has given us. He never leaves us nor forsakes us. And the same is expected of us when we engage in covenant relationships. Couples 412, that's my time. Thank you for your time. Hope you got something out of the lesson on tonight.
Man, I couldn't keep up with the notes, Pastor. You know what I'm saying? You were right on point. If you just tuned in, that was Pastor Stephen Thurston coming live from the Chi-Town, giving us a little bit about the law of the covenant.
And good thing the notes are online, so make sure you register on Couples 412 and go to the resource section and look for the law of the covenant notes.
You would have told me that before I was taking all them notes.
Yes.
But the notes, sometimes the notes you take in your own personal device, those are ones that you can quick check. That was a lot going on. Anybody, Ty and Chris, anything ring home to you that Pastor Stephen was just talking about? Oh, your microphone. I'm sorry. Hold on.
Oh.
You got it? Okay.
Yeah, the biggest thing is for me is anytime I hear the word covenant, I think about the word commitment. Because no matter what a person is going through, especially in a marriage, there has to be a commitment there. So there's some things you might not like. There's some things that might happen within there, but there's a commitment there that says, I'm going to stick with you. I'm going to be by you, and we're going to work this thing through no matter what, because it's you, me, and God.
That stuck out to me was he's been overlooking my flaws, but then when he does something, I want to point out what he's doing wrong, but yet he's been the one that's giving me grace when I'm making mistakes, because we all make mistakes in relationships. And so we have to extend each other the same amount of grace.
All right.
And it's going to be more some periods when he is extending more to me. And then it could be another year when I'm extending more to him.
Mm-hmm.
But at the end of the day, we just cannot keep pointing out the flaws. We need to hold on to the 80% that we got that's real good. That we don't have.
Real good. All right. Go ahead, Ty.
Right.
Go ahead, Chris.
We have to exemplify Christ-like behavior in the process.
100%. I think one of the key elements is love, you know, and where does that love actually come in? And is it unconditional or is it conditioned on your love? Okay, if you do X, Y, Z, then it's conditional love. But if no matter what's happening, I still love you, just like God. God is always like this, with his arms wide open. But when we want to act right, we turn around and we turn our back on God and we don't want to hear nothing. But then if you just peek over your shoulder just a little bit, he's still like this, saying, come on, bring it in, bring it in. So that's the kind of commitment as men, because he said, love your wife like Christ loved the church.
Yep.
And nobody
Exactly.
else. And then sometimes you, even with your kids and some other things, you'll be surprised. Sometimes you think your kids just think you are ATM or, you know, like they just ask you for anything at any time of the day. And sometimes it's not even without saying hello. Sometimes it's just, this is, can I? I mean, and it keeps going. And then it's like God plucks me in the back of the head and says, you know what? Sometimes you do that too. You know what I mean? You just get up and you get to ask it without even saying, good morning, God. What's happening? You know what I mean? Let's just commune for a second and get so fellas, we just gotta sometimes love. Just put love. Put it under your little sticky pad on your nightstand. You know what I mean? Just wake up with some love in your heart, and, you know, and just keep going through it, because you know the enemy's coming. And if you know he's coming, and you ready for him. But if you don't know, he ain't doing nothing different. It's the same old things, and if you falling for the same thing, it's like Pastor Stephen said, your character is really, you know, and I'm gonna blow it out the water all the way, fellas. I don't care if y'all shoot me, but if you got a device or a phone or something that your wife can't never look at, or if you always hiding, or, you know, you got locks and that they can't get to, and things like that, that's a character check. That's a sure road for a heartache and a hard stop on some brakes without your seatbelt on and your head hitting the windshield. If you're doing it, get a character check, fellas. Ladies, if you're doing it, get a character check, because you didn't get married to do this. I mean, we're trying to take that 50% to 100% of winning marriages and relationships. Parkers, what's happening over there? How y'all feel about the covenant this month?
Well, I'm glad, Stephen, that was a whole refreshing course for me. I know we had talked about the covenant before, and, you know, sometimes you just have to revisit.
Yeah.
I know sometimes I can be that person pointing a finger at somebody else, or, you know, showing them what they've done, and, you know, we talk your head off.
Still from Chicago?
No, and I haven't talked to Stephen in a minute, but I'm sure he and Q still have their conversation daily, probably.
Absolutely.
Yeah, this was just a refreshing course for me, and something I was so glad that I was able to sit here and just absorb it all in again. Q and I think we're doing pretty good. We're doing really good. No, I'm saying, because, you know, I'm honest. You know, we have our arguments, and I'm the first one to tell you guys. But yeah, this definitely, I needed to hear everything and just reinforce it, and I'm working.
I think the cool thing is understanding that, like you said, the difference is there is no cutoff date.
Mm-hmm.
So if you've taken certain things off the table and know that you're in it for the long haul, and till death do us part until your day is called, it just kind of behooves you, just for your sanity and just for your peace, to just work through whatever it is. Because if there is no expiration date, that means every time I open this refrigerator, I'm gonna see whatever that thing is. So I might as well learn to love it. Might as well, you know, learn to like it, and make sure that it's a part of every other ingredient that I'm trying to make, since it's not going to expire. So that is something that is, it's a lot of good food for thought for us, for other couples, because at the end of the day, no matter what the obstacle is, it's really not worth it. It's not worth it. You guys separating and causing dissension within the relationship. So that was really good because we are in it for the long haul, and it makes you fight when you know that neither one of you are going anywhere. It makes you fight for not only yourselves but for each other, for the relationship.
100%. If you just tuned in and you came in late, this is Couples 412 Live. We're hanging out with some of the coolest couples in the universe. We are intentional about this moment right here. Our energy level in marriage right now is like, it's so high. So, I don't know if you can feel it, but I can feel that energy that's just radiating throughout the airwaves about love and about marriage and about the whole covenant situation. And Pastor Stephen, when you said blind spot indicator, the new cars, they're starting to come with blind spot indicators on it, right? Yeah, hammer on the side, and everything's about the blind spot. And when a helpmate is there for you, to really, fellas, when she checks that blind spot for you, to keep from getting hit by a Mack truck, we really need to listen. Sometimes you don't want nobody telling you nothing when you're in the car driving. And really, we're just driving our life. But that blind spot indicator that God sends as your helpmate is a wonderful thing. And sometimes we don't feel like it's wonderful when they say it originally, but sometimes once you go back and process it, you be like, thanks, babe. I almost got hit. Why was it always a Mack truck? You know what I mean? You just got hit by a truck. It had to be a Mack truck when you got hit. But Pastor K or Minister K, what should I call you, brother? DK, the Dream.
Call him Shine Stiller.
Kingmaker.
Yeah.
Steve, are you gonna let Q pull you into this kind of foolishness, sir?
Listen, you're about to talk, and you're about to talk behind me, and the people aren't gonna remember nothing I said after whatever you're about to say. I'm clear.
Come on.
See, these are the moments where we gotta be receiving of the fact that all I was gonna say is when I'm talking behind Steve, there's really nothing else to say. But this is a perfect example of being influenced by the wrong people. In this moment, he missed the opportunity to let me elevate his shine because you were connected in covenant with the wrong people. This is that moment. But I mean, real talk, man, it's phenomenal to hear, particularly when he spoke about how covenants were put together back in biblical days. From splitting an animal, and you take your half, I take my half, and if I mess up, my half is on the line. And to look at it from that way in a marriage, that my half is so important that if I mess up, I've actually corrupted the whole. And I'm excited about how he put it together because it makes all of us think, how much of my half in my marriage am I corrupting? And how much of my half in my marriage am I cultivating? And it puts me in that position where you're grateful for having the right person. I think it's just a blessing to wake up and know you're married to the person God's put you with and not the person you picked out. That makes the covenant a whole lot sweeter when he sent the person to you and you didn't do the picking. So a lot of great nuggets. I was over here taking notes. I'm probably going to do this same message in another setting just because of how amazing Steve delivered it. Thank you for the free sermon. And I appreciate you.
No, was it one thing, Kervance, from the live session that you might have wanted to share that we might have missed?
Honestly, the live session was so charged because of the people that were in there, the way the moment moved and the topic. And the big thing for me that I took away was making sure that we are always connecting our covenant to our partner. In that dynamic, it forces us to be honest with the anointing that our partner carries. It's a big thing to make sure that when you are connected to somebody that you know is anointed, that your anointing is your patience, your anointing is your integrity, your anointing is your confidence, and never putting yourself in the position that God has connected you with someone he put his hand on, and you're doing your best job to corrupt what God has touched.
Woo.
So it's that moment where we ought to be grateful that we didn't marry a bum. We're grateful that we didn't marry a sluggard. Many of us are married to people who make our lives better. And simply because it comes with burdens, we focus more on the burden than we do the blessing. And we just gotta now start being thankful and get up every morning telling God, thank you for my anointed blessing, as opposed to complaining about the burden that came along with it. So that's what the covenant helps us do. And that was a big takeaway for me. And I hope it blessed other people as well.
Man, I wasn't there. And just now getting that nugget was a true blessing, because, you know, the world, you could have everything going right and one little thing negative, and they will take that one little thing and wear it out and just hammer that little thing to death till it occupies your whole day, your whole mind, your whole being, and your whole 24 hours that you had to be productive that day. A bunch of it has been wasted on something negative. And so just to be able to cancel that negativity, because really there's more positive going on throughout the day than anything. It's just about, like Pastor Stevenson, what you decide to focus on. Right. You know, if you're going to focus on the problem or the problem solver, what are you going to focus on? Or some things you just got to put on mute. Like, I don't even turn on the news in the morning. So, because sometimes I don't want to start my day off getting any of that mess into my spirit. If something's that bad, somebody's going to call you and say, did you hear that so-and-so had? And there you go. You got the news. That was your news. You heard of the big story that just happened. But until that, I mean, spend a little time with God in the morning. You heard the 5 things. If you just tuned in, we didn't say it in the beginning. I hadn't said it in so long. Our mission here at Couples 412, which my wonderful helpmate has slid over here, and if I squint, that means I don't have my reading glasses, okay? To strengthen and enhance marriages. That's our mission. By focusing on God's divine plan for the husband and the wife to celebrate the blessings of what?
The covenant.
The covenant. We join together to create a community, which is right now online and live, like ourselves, to engage in real dialogue about our challenges and to what? Celebrate the union that we have been blessed to receive. Would you like to read our value statement? This is how we go. This is how we read the Bible when we read it in the morning. She takes a few verses and I take. Go ahead, babe.
Okay, our value statements are to study the principles of God's plan for marriage, develop relationship with like-minded couples.
That's right.
Provide regular opportunities for couples to fellowship and support one another. Identify strategies to improve communication among the husband and wife, all based on the foundational scripture.
Ecclesiastes 1:12. No, Ecclesiastes 4:12. That's where we get the name from. The one may be overpowered, 2 can defend themselves, but a cord of 3, strand of 3, like Stephen said, when you put God in the center of it. That was one of his things that he mentioned. That's one of the things the covenant mentioned. That's one of the things that we stress at Couples 412. You have to keep God in the center of this marriage in order for it to be productive, powerful, and pleasing in his sight. We meet again twice a month. Try and do better, but you know, twice a month is just is a good thing now, because it's intentional 2 times a month. Once live at Oasis. If you go to couples412.com, you can find out all the information. You find out tonight's notes. You can find out a copy of the covenant, relationship and marriage, because when you sign this thing, you might have said some words and tried to get through to the honeymoon, but go back and look at this thing right here and see if you really want to be serious about your marriage. Because if you're not serious, you're playing around and you just I don't know what you're doing, because this is it. Happy wife, happy life. I'm telling you, fellas, can I get an amen? A happy wife and a happy life. You hear some of the billionaires and some of the most successful people in the world, and they say, well, what are some of the keys to your success? And they said, choose wisely your wife. Choose a good woman who's going to ride and run this race with you in life. Life's not short. You know, we can prolong our lives. If your mother and father is still around, God promises if you honor them, your life will be long. In case you never heard that before, take that with you. Try honoring your mother and father if they're still alive and around, or showing honor to somebody who's that, and your life can be extended. Believe it. Believe it. Anything, last words? We're going to go around the horn real quick. Pastor Steve. Final words, brother.
It's important that we disconnect from contracts, focus on covenants, take this thing seriously. That's it.
Disconnect.
Disconnect.
Unplug. Brother Cavance, final words for tonight.
Be grateful for who you're married to. Brothers, be cognizant that you asked them for their hand in marriage. They didn't ask you. So be grateful for what God gave you. Protect what God gave you, and at all focus and at all times, make sure that you honor the covenant that God put between you.
Leon, any last words?
I really like what you're saying about grace, and I read something really interesting about grace. When we are in the thick of problems, we're in a race, but when we put God in it, that's grace.
All right.
And I really like Stephen. I'm gonna use that. Well, this is how God sees this matter. Thank you, Stephen.
Right. See, if you're a man of God and they say this is how God sees it, you just automatically line up, even if you don't. If you really don't want to line up, but you say this is how God has it. And so
Right.
it's like a magnet that pulls you, you know, like a holy chiropractor, just straightens you up real quick, and you just can keep on moving. Keep on moving.
Okay.
Did you say a holy chiropractor?
There you go.
He said you can use that.
I know you like the chiropractor, brother. I figured you would like that.
What to say?
Ty and Chris, final words.
He's
You
muted.
gotta unmute him.
Unmute him.
You gotta unmute yourself.
We can't hear you.
I can't do it. You gotta unmute your mic, guys.
Can't hear.
We'll come back because we can't hear you. Parkers, final words. Try to unmute your mic, guys. We see it muted up there on the screen. Final words.
What does it say? The race is not given to the swift or the strong, but he that endureth to the end. Your marriage is that. Commit to the process and just keep showing up.
Exactly. And I like what you said, Dana. That right there, I need you to text that to me. And also, Dana, if you could put the covenant, I know you and Kevin experienced the whole, I would love to do it with Q. So if you can send it to us, but also post it online. So if some of the, I can't hear y'all now, but if some of the other couples want to experience it, and I think we have a 15-year anniversary coming up in August.
Oh.
So I think that's something, you know how everybody wants to go take a trip, just to go on vacation. For us, for right now, it's about the important things about covenant, our marriage, our family, and stuff like that. So I would love to get the information so maybe we can experience that.
It's only 3 states that have.
That's why I need to know where to go and what to do, what's the process, what we need, everything. So if you could post it online, some other couples may want to do it as well.
We went to Arizona. When we went, you know, and just in case you don't know, it could double as a vacation.
Right, but
it was super hot though. When is your anniversary?
August 10th, super hot.
Yeah, I mean it was like 118 or something crazy out there, but you know.
I'm so cool.
But you'll make it. You can make it from the car to the courthouse.
Right. Okay.
Back to the air.
So we'll talk about that a little bit offline. But I do think that's something we should do for our anniversary.
That'd be awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Ty and Chris, are you guys back?
We can't hear them.
We can't hear you guys. I don't know what happened. Can you hear us? I don't know what happened to the mic.
Sign language.
Yeah.
I didn't even sign it.
Ty
I
said
love you.
she loves Chris. And Chris said, I'm gonna keep being the most patient one.
Oh, PDA moment.
And you know, we applaud you guys for hanging out with us. You guys show up and always bless us with your input and your love and just the strength that you bring in the Lord into Couples 412. And we're glad that you just take your time out because you know you guys run businesses and everybody's doing it. But the great thing about it is when you sow this seed into your marriage, this time to harvest is so great. It's so wonderful. It's so wonderful. It's always a pleasure to hang out. Couples 412, Pastor Steve, the Parkers, Vance, Ty and Chris. We love you guys. Hopefully everybody's in town the second Tuesday. If you're in Atlanta, come hang out with us at Oasis Atlanta. Go to couples412.com. We're going to be there. We're going to show up. It's just us and the chairs. I heard Pastor John Maxwell say his first day as a pastor was him, his wife, and our old widow. It was 3 of them. So if they can do it, we can do it. We're going to keep coming. We're going to be there. We're going to keep showing. We're going to keep getting stronger in this relationship. Until next time, God bless everybody and continue to connect. Share something. Share this video with another couple. Go back and rewatch Pastor Stephen Thurston's moments, and you can follow along on the notes on couples412.com.